We're live.
We're live. All right,
Yeah.
great. Hello and welcome everyone to our first edition, take 2 of Second String in what is only appropriate for a Dubs and I production. I am your co-host, Tommy Hollywood, along with my good pal, Dubs. Dubs, say hello.
Am I not a co-host?
Well, you came in strong yesterday where you're like, hey, T, basically you should host the show and like organize it and do all this shit. Like
I thought you'd be better at that.
5 minutes before we started. It's a real a classic dance monkey routine. But we also are really excited to welcome to the show our producer Hoops. Hoops,
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah. Why? Actually, you know what? Don't tell.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Don't tell anyone a little bit about yourself. They're not here for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. They'll figure it out. You know.
He's here to strip the audio. So,
Yeah, just for post.
So anyway, this is our podcast, Second String. 2 guys who are all right at sports, talking like they're really, really good at sports.
I've never claimed to be all right at sports. I'm very mediocre to poor at sports. But I'm thankful that you said I was mediocre at sports. It's actually probably the nicest thing. And
the
just said that athletically.
The big problem for you was that hustle alone isn't a sport. It's just an aspect that coaches admire. But had hustle been a sport,
coaches admired me. I mean, I could hustle down the first base line if I could ever get the ball, into play.
Well, I mean, did you ever do track? Track is essentially hustling as a sport.
You'd think so. I recently I always thought I was quick. I recently did a 40-yard dash to see how quick I was. I ran like a 5.4, which is terrible, and it just like ruined all of my dreams. Like I always thought, at least you have this winder, but at least you're pretty quick. But no, not even that. So I've got nothing. I don't know.
I think Hoops can probably vouch for this too. Our problem is that whenever anybody watches you run, you just move quickly, but you're not moving that fast. Like you're like it's all extremely spastic hand motions and foot motion.
That's just my everyday life too. That's not only when I try doing athletic things. That's just my general demeanor.
For anyone watching, I'm doing a thing with my middle and ring finger. That's Dubs running. All right, so welcome to Second String. To start off, we thought we'd give you a little background on who we are, how we started this whole thing. So, Dubs, why don't you give them, our loyal listeners / viewers, an insight into how Second String started?
Yeah, so I mean, Second String started probably mid-July 2016. So like 4 or 5 months ago at this point. 6 months ago, Jesus.
Yeah, wow.
Whatever. I can't do math. Right. So I mean, the origin story is like super, super generic. I was driving, had a long drive one day, and I was like, I'm about to start a job, and my life is about to get super downhill super quickly. And like the one thing in this world I like to do is talk bullshit and make myself laugh. And I was like, the only way best way to make myself laugh is to throw things out on the screen. No one else is reading them, but still do it anyways, because that's how narcissistic I am, which is fun. So I called up the only other person I know who's as narcissistic as me, which is my good friend Tommy Hollywood.
100%.
Threw him the idea to start a blog.
And at the time, it was really sad. Dubs caught me at a super vulnerable point in my life because I had just moved to California and found out that they sell liquor in CVS's out here. So I was by myself at 2 p.m. on like a Wednesday buying a bottle of Jack Daniels for myself because that was my plan for the night. So, yeah.
I feel like it's a good description of you in general.
It's like sadness going into happiness, but the happiness is all fake.
And
so
really fleeting.
It's super fleeting. All right. So anyway, so that's kind of how Second String started, and then this podcast is actually brought to you by the folks over at Entry Rebel. So the way that Dubs and I kind of got involved in Entry Rebel is they followed me on Twitter at 3J3 self-plug, and their pinned tweet was they needed a sports blogger with a picture of Ray Romano, which I thought was really funny and like an attempt to be ironic. But I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah, I guess we later figured out that Ray Romano's character in Everybody Loves Raymond is actually a sports blogger. So the joke actually made sense and was kind of disappointing because I think that TJ and I are more into jokes that make no sense, like Ray Romano just randomly being the face of their.
It was so solid.
The face of their sports blogger would have been a great joke, but
just like an Italian guy.
Yeah, it's like hey, it's Ray. I can't do a Ray Romano.
Talking with his hands. Italians must have such a difficult time typing if they're always moving their hands with one.
How can they, if they have to speak emphatically and do this, how are they supposed to type emphatically?
Type to learn in Italy never took off. So I reached out and I was like, hey, saw you followed me, saw you new sports blogger. I sent them over five of my best stuff, and then they were like, cool, great, come on board. And I was like, you know who else does this? Is this other guy whose site stuff that you probably read inadvertently on the site that I just sent you. So they were like, great, have him send us an email. So Dubs did, and now we're here.
Yeah.
Hoops actually has no involvement with Entry Level. He just has involvement with us.
And so a little bit
I have no idea what's going on.
A little bit of further background is TJ and I tried to do this yesterday, and I recorded my own face, my own voice, and not TJ at all because I don't know how to use computers at all. So we brought on Hoops, who is our resident tech guy.
So you're going to hear a lot of talk about stripping the audio. That's
honestly all I thought it was. I thought I'd have a video and I could strip the audio and use that. Guess that's not how it works. So we brought on Andrew.
All of it's insulting.
Awesome.
Cool.
So yeah, here we go. So this is take 2 of episode 1 of Second String, which is pretty appropriate. So let's get right into bits. So anyone who knows us know that Dubs and I are big bit guys. We like comedy. We like making jokes. And usually, though, the jokes that we make us laugh, but nobody else with us laugh.
Right. And TJ and I both have delightful laughs, so we think that the more that we make ourselves laugh, honestly, the better for the listener.
Yeah. And going off the theme of narcissism, because what's more narcissistic than recording yourself and no one else for a podcast and then watching back the tape? We're convinced that the audience that we told these jokes to were wrong, but the jokes themselves would land. Like, they're funny. It's just the other people that are wrong. So these are jokes that fell flat. We're each going to tell one joke because it happens pretty much weekly. So Dubs, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's a lot of pressure for me to start on this one, but yeah, I can give it a shot. So I mean, a couple weeks ago, I was at a bar standing in line, and we were talking. I'm in the Midwest now, and I was talking about how I wanted to check out skiing in the Midwest. So I say to the guy next to me, or whatever, we're in the conversation, and I ask him if he skis, and he says, "This is kind of a weirdo too," and he says, "Oh, actually, I haven't skied since I was 8 years old. I had a traumatic skiing accident." I said, "Oh yeah, I had a traumatic experience too when I was 8. It just didn't involve skiing." And it was just dead. I thought it was one of the funniest things I've ever said. And it was just dead silence in front of me. I'd had a date with me. She didn't laugh. It was very bad.
So the problem with a lot of our jokes too that I'm finding is there's either a lot of subtle or blatant like molestation talk, possibly involving family members. And apparently that's not an area that many people find very funny. Going off that, my joke was extremely similar. So I've been trying to do a little bit of stand-up out here. So I tried this joke first at a little stand-up open mic thing that I did near my apartment. It's in the Valley, so like 5 people were there. This is Sunday night. I had 3 minutes, and I go up there, and I go, boom, right away, jump in with, my sex life is a lot like my Little League career. Eventually, my dad will stop yelling at me.
Which is great also if you know TJ's dad, because that's exactly what his Little League career was.
You're going to really look at that outside corner, strike 3? This is getting really, really personal. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm kind of uncomfortable now.
So anyway, when I tell you that there was you could hear the sound of the draft beer pouring in the back. That's how horribly this joke fell flat. So after that, I was like, all right, I'm out. But I tried the joke again the next day. It was a Monday. We had a work event, and I tried it because I thought, it didn't land with the audience, but you know who it will land with? My boss. And guess what? 0 for 2. So I'd like to think, I'm hoping it landed just now, but again, you can find us on Twitter or write a comment on some of our blogs. Just let us know if those jokes hit for you, because I could really use the validation at this point.
I'm honestly not sure if we're going to get it, but yeah. I mean, I think those jokes are good enough to at least give to the general public and not just our coworkers and our boss.
Yeah. Oh, God.
But the other part about that too is you knew it didn't land. You tried it in a setting where it would land if it did land, at a comedy club, and it just didn't land. And you're like, you know what? I know this is funny. This is so much more funny than other people are giving it credit for. I'm gonna try this again at my work with my boss, my coworkers.
Well, I figured I was like, I've been in the job for 6 months now. They pretty much know what I'm about. Like, but I guess they didn't know me that well, or the joke isn't funny. We'll find out. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So, TJ and I, we are I'd say resident experts at. I mean, do you have another player for this game, or did you prepare that at all?
I told you I have at least 5 months worth of players that I can do.
Right. So we started this game, which we love to play. It's called Guess That Player. If there's anything we love, it's baseball players from like 2005 that were like pretty good, but not great, but like pretty good. I don't know. So we like giving each other stats and positions and teams and seeing if we can figure out which player it was. So, do you want me to go first? You want to go first?
Yeah, can you start, because I actually have to look up the stats.
Yeah. All right. This is a personal favorite of mine. This guy, amongst other accolades, he led the American League in doubles in 2006. He was a 3-time All-Star, 2 Gold Glove outfielder, 30-30 club in 2008. American League Central.
American League Central outfielder.
Yeah.
Oh man, can I get a team?
I feel like you're gonna get it, but you mostly remember him from the Indians.
Kenny Lofton?
No, good guess though. That's a good guess, but no, it's not him. He's a little whiter than Kenny Lofton.
I have no idea. Why can't I get this?
You're gonna love it. Ready? Grady Sizemore.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. Thank you, because I totally forgot about Grady Sizemore.
Totally forgot Grady Sizemore existed, right?
And that's super inappropriate of me.
You really can't forget that Grady Sizemore exists.
To forget about Grady Sizemore and his. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
See,
so I mean, that's kind of the point of this game. Is these players just need to be. We need to remember these players.
And I hope people can really hear like how happy I am, legitimately happy that I am that
he is.
Dubs just reminded me about Grady Sizemore, because these players, average baseball players, give us joy like legitimately no other thing in our lives.
It's not even close.
All right.
Yeah.
So
why you
I'll go. I've got one. You can get this one. I was tough on take one.
Yeah,
I'm coming back on take 2.
Love it.
Center fielder.
Center.
252 hitter. So pretty average. Yeah. Super fast. One of my favorite players. He was a Cub and an Oriole.
Oh, it's Corey Patterson.
Dang. Yes.
I fucking love Corey Patterson.
He was the man, wasn't he?
He was the man. I love that guy. It's a great call with one of your favorite players.
Yeah. It was fun fact, I'm originally from the south side of Chicago. The only Cubs jersey I've ever owned in my life is Corey Patterson, because I was so impressed by him when I saw him.
He was great. He came like right after Kenny Lofton too.
Yeah.
Remember Kenny Lofton had that half a season on the Cubs?
What a wild time the Cubs had for a little while with Derek Lee. And
oh man, Aramis Ramirez. That was post, but yeah, Corey Patterson.
Moises Alou.
A little guy by the name of Sammy Sosa. It's like Mark Grunzelinek. Great team.
Oh, Mark Grunzelinek. Damn it. I should
have saved it for next episode. Sort of Mark Grunzelinek at you.
That's amazing stuff.
So I mean, here's a good question. We're probably gonna play that game once a week, once every other week. It's quick, it's fun. Are we gonna try to stump each other, or do we want the other person to get it? I don't want to say it's like saying those words, Corey Patterson, is one of the purest joys I've had for.
Yeah. I mean, we should keep it. Yesterday, I got way too ahead of myself with a player that played from 1987 to 2000.
I wasn't even alive then.
Our cognizant memory was like 2 years.
Yeah. And if you also include all the repressed memories we have, we essentially weren't even alive then.
That's crazy. I don't even want to calculate it. So, we should make it doable, but it's gotta
doable.
It gotta be at least playing in 03.
Love it. Grady Sizemore, Corey Patterson's. We're the first Guess That players from this episode. That's like a pretty big honor.
Perfect.
You think
this would be a fun game too for listeners to do. If they tweeted us a bunch of stats and we came back with the player that it was, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea too.
All right, great. So let's move on to, you recently read an article about college football coaches and
I
their
did.
favorite band. Why don't you
I
give
did.
people some background on that?
Yeah. This article came out. So TJ and I, we like sports. We are super. I mean, we're music guys too. We like music a lot.
That's me drumming, in case anyone was wondering.
So an article came out, NCAA football coaches and their favorite musical acts, which kind of hit all our check marks. So we look through them, and I gotta say there's some super interesting coaches and who their favorite artists are. You want to hear some of them, T?
Hit me, Dubs. We'll cut that.
hear
That's
some
gotta
too.
get cut.
Yeah, we'll strip that audio.
Who's just interested?
Yeah, I'll hear him.
So Nick Saban, he said the Eagles, which is interesting to me because I don't think there's a single person in this world whose favorite band is the Eagles, but that totally makes sense because the idea of Nick Saban listening to music, like I can't even imagine him doing anything besides watching film and planning for football games. So the Eagles make sense because he probably listened to Hotel California and he's like, that's pretty good songs. He chose the Eagles. 4 other coaches chose the Eagles. I don't think there are 5 people in this world whose favorite band is the Eagles. But when Nick Saban says his favorite band is the Eagles, 4 other guys just hopped right on that train and chose with them.
The best part about that too is like these coaches trying to mirror Nick Saban, so they're like sitting in their offices now, like forced to listen to Witchy Woman and stuff, and they're just like, God, I hate this band so much.
But I said the Eagles are my favorite band. I'm stuck with it now.
I'm so committed.
I bet you the Eagles like plays on SoundCloud or whatever have like no way the Eagles are on SoundCloud. That was a terrible call. The Eagles plays on Spotify have like quadrupled since this article came out, and like aspiring football coaches were like, that's the secret. I'm just gonna listen to a bunch of Eagles and
Hoops will do some
become a
research. Hoops will do some research on the Spotify analytics
Yeah,
of Eagles downloads and
Crunch some numbers.
Yeah. Other great ones. Urban Meyer said Sister Hazel, which, as you may or may not be aware, they have one song,
that's it.
and it's that song that goes, "Hard to say what it is I see in you." Which is literally, I'm pretty sure it's the only song Sister Hazel has ever written.
So I'm pretty sure what happened was Urban Meyer moves to Ohio. He's grumpy. He goes to the Ford dealership, buys his Fusion, Fiesta, whatever. Gets in the car, and the radio was mistakenly set to FM, and it was just set on a 90s rock station, and Sister Hazel came on, and he just said, all right, this is my favorite band, and I'm never changing the station. Just angrily driving through Northeast Ohio, wondering who these people are.
Why was wait an FM station?
Yeah,
FM. Just playing one song? I don't think that's the way radios work.
no, but he was all in. Maybe his wife was
like, yeah,
like, honey, who is this?
I honestly, like, I was kind of joking about Saban and the Eagles because, like, I think the Eagles do have a few good songs. I just am not into them. But I honestly think that Sister Hazel has written one song in their entire life, and they're their favorite band.
100%. It is a good song. I will give them credit. That song is extremely catchy.
But favorite band? And the other thing is, this song came out in 1997. Urban Meyer had to have been mid-30s and maybe a little older than that.
Quickly, Hoops. How old is Urban Meyer? What year was he born? Well, moving on while Hoops moves.
Yeah, can you look it up for us, Andrew?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I don't trust him.
He's 52. He's born in 1964.
1964. So when did that come out?
I said 97. I said mid-30s. He was 33. So at the age of 33, he decided who his favorite band was.
That's kind of around a quarter-life crisis.
Yeah, right. I mean, I like to think my favorite band's gonna be some shitty ska band when I'm like 50. I'm sure that's who it is now.
100%.
Maybe it'll be like, yeah, less than Jake or Third Eye Blind.
The best part is that, just a little context, this scenario already happened to Dubs. He's already said, "What?" Somebody asked him, "What's your favorite band?" And he said, "Listen to Jake."
And they made fun of me for it, and there was nothing I could say. I was like, "You're totally right. That's the worst answer I could possibly have." I was like, probably like it's some shitty ska band, probably like Less Than Jake. And they're like, really? Like, that's so disappointing for you. And I was like, I don't know. But they're great. I mean, they're prolific too. They have a ton of good shit.
I see the light. All right.
Those aren't the words. You want to talk about who Charlie Strong said to?
Charlie Strong, recently fired from University of Texas Austin, chose DJ Khaled as his favorite. Ironically, because he got fired for losing so many games, and definitely took the slogan, "They don't want you to be successful," way too seriously. He Charlie Strong had a little wooden plaque in his office that is like, "You're right, DJ Khaled. They don't want me to
They
be
don't want you to
successful.
be successful.
I'm
All
gonna
we do is win.
stop. Yeah, I'm gonna stop watching film, but
How
I
many
am gonna
games-
put my hands up."
How many games did Texas win this season?
Yeah, that Texas won 5-7, I think.
5-7. Yeah, that's. I mean, he just really did not live up to his mentors.
Wildly, grossly high expectations. But new Texas coach Tom Herman had
Yeah,
a
so
pretty
Tom Herman's favorite artist is Michael Jackson. Tom Herman, as you probably know, lines all of his players up before games and kisses them all like gently, which is so Michael Jackson. There's an easy joke there, right? Tom Herman's gonna beat it to Texas.
It's
right because
there's like a ton. There's too much really
yeah,
to work with there.
There's a lot, and I just don't feel comfortable making any of the jokes.
My big problem with the Tom Herman kissing people thing is that he does it before the game and like ritually, like that. His Notre Dame play like a champion thing is kissing his players, whereas I think a well-timed kiss would really help out college players. So say the game's coming down to the wire, right? And the team's down 1 or 2, down to a field goal. They're panning to the kicker, kicking that ball into the net like 3 or 4 times. Tom Herman goes over and just full on like French kisses his kicker. A lot of tongue on TV. That's a great move by a coach because now you're grabbing the kicker and saying, this is by far the weirdest thing that happened today. Nobody's worried about if you made this kick or not. And
right,
boom.
Especially college kickers, because like there's no bigger, like it's a giant game of like blowjobs or death threats when they kick final field goals. Like either they're going to get death threats on Twitter for like the rest of their lives, or they're just going to have the greatest, next week of their lives while they just reap the benefits of being a stud college kicker. So like they get full on kissed by their coach. No way they're getting death threats online if they miss that. I feel like all the posts are going to be about him just getting Frenched by Tom Herman. I hated saying that sentence so much. I thought it, and I was like, "Don't say this sentence," but I couldn't bail at that point. So yeah.
Last one I can remember having was Bill Snyder.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
So Bill Snyder, fun fact, is like 75 years old, ridiculously old, but still coaching at Kansas State, located in Manhattan, Kansas. So when asked who his favorite artist was, he immediately goes Frank Sinatra. So I'm pretty sure that for the last 30 years, Bill Snyder has thought he's been living in Manhattan, New York. And he's like, oh, old blue eyes. Look at me, relating to everybody. So then, but he quickly followed it with second favorite band, Foreigner. So now I'm starting to think that Bill Snyder actually thought the question was, what are your 2 least favorite things about Manhattan? He was like, Frank Sinatra and the Foreigners. And the journalist was like, all right, well, that was just about as close as to a relevant answer. So whatever. These are his favorite bands now.
Yeah, I don't really get that joke, but I like it. I'm not sure why.
Awesome.
I have one more.
Warner.
I have one more.
They do Jukebox Hero.
Jim Harbaugh said Bob Marley, which is hilarious because I think that's the most intense person and the least intense music that's like ever been paired up ever. Like if there's one thing I can't imagine in my entire life, it's Jim Harbaugh sitting down and listening to reggae music.
I feel like it's one of those things though that someone told him he has to start listening to it, like because he's way too intense all the time. Like it may be therapeutic and beneficial for your health if you start listening to Bob Marley, anything that'll calm you down. But he's definitely listening.
See that, but I feel like he'd hate it. I feel
Yeah.
like honestly, like we're joking, but like think about Jim Harbaugh sitting down and listening to Bob Marley. I legitimately can't do that.
Well, maybe that kind of works then. It gets him like fueled up. Like, man, I really hate hippies and reggae music. Like,
that's it.
I'm gonna finish this glass of whole milk and steak that I didn't cook, and then I'm gonna go beat the crap out of my players for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
There's so many rules violations in there. You pick which one, but it's definitely something that's crossed his mind.
Jesus, yeah, something like that.
That's why we need Hoops eating the chips. Awesome. So next bit. I'm gonna wrap it up here pretty soon.
I love how that's how we like transition between things. We just say next bit.
Next.
Hoops, that's where we're gonna need you to like fade in music and fade out music. Was that?
Make it more relatable.
Yeah. Next bit.
Yeah. All right. moving along. Half-asser of the week. So half-asser of the week. So this is a person that we truly admire because they've done their job with so little effort and greatly succeeded, received a bunch of praise. It's really all that anybody could hope to be is the half-asser of the week. So this week, the half-asser of the week is President Barack Obama. So this was cool because he did a brilliant move on his way out of office. What's the opposite of president-elect?
Lame duck president.
Did you actually confirm that though, or are we still just going to say that it's lame duck president?
I honestly don't know how I feel about the fact that you're questioning me. It's a lame duck president.
Oops, have you ever heard of lame duck president?
Oh, let's just say I'm right and move on. That's actually a good just general rule for this podcast. Just say I'm right and move on.
Is it?
What are you saying, Hoops?
What?
I don't know if that was a bit or not. I thought that was a planned thing.
All right. T, why don't you?
We'll strip it. We'll strip it. All right. So
we can strip everything if you want.
Lame duck president Barack Obama, on his way out of office, signs an executive order that says the president now has to pay taxes on their annual salary. So that's a super savvy move because now he's going to have all the liberals being like, wow, this is great, making Donald Trump pay those taxes. What a guy. But President Obama just served 8 years as president without paying taxes 1 year. So it's a huge middle finger out the door from Barry O. Super half-ass move where he's going to get a ton of praise for it. And for that, he is the half-asser of the week.
And we were talking about how this is gonna when like people are talking about Donald Trump like releasing his tax returns.
Ugh.
Like everyone's gonna say this joke and it's gonna be the worst. And Twitter's gonna be full of people like making this like he has to release his tax returns now that Obama was making him pay taxes now that he's president.
So that right there, that was the one and only joke we're allowing everyone to make. That's it.
So make it now before it's trendy.
Because in 2017, around April 15th, we're gonna get the release your tax. Do tax returns come out? I know they're due.
I don't know how taxes work. I'm not old enough for that.
I don't want to get into that.
I just learned what APR financing meant the other day, and I think that's when I decided I was a grown up, which is kind of sad.
Woof.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and that was always my thing. I was like whenever I was growing up, I was like, you're young. As long as you don't know what the words APR financing means, you're still young. You're still a kid. And then I was looking at my credit card and I was talking about APR financing. And I was like, oh shit.
I think I remember you saying that actually.
Yeah, I know. And I had to look it up. I had to look it up like a week ago. I almost cried.
I learned about it in Business Stat and I forced myself to forget it because I was like, no, Dubs would be so disappointed if I knew it. So I don't know what it is and I don't want you to tell me. All right. So
I'm sure you did great in that final. Yeah. So yesterday when I heard this idea, my answer was every vice president ever, just because like vice presidents don't do anything. But I think that based on events that happened today, can I change my answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think you might know where I'm going with this.
I have no idea actually, so I'm excited.
With, a young man by the name of Jeffrey Fisher.
Jeff Fisher,
the coach for the Rams. I don't think anyone calls him Jeffrey. No, but
yeah,
I mean, look at this. He's been a head coach since 1994.
22 years.
22 years he's been a coach. He has a career regular season win percentage of .512.
Yeah.
And he's been a coach that long.
I
figured it out. Can I tell you I figured it out?
Go ahead.
Little known fact about Jeff Fisher that I'm learning from his Wikipedia page right now.
Yep.
Defensive assistant, 1985 Chicago Bears. He's been riding that. He's been riding that since it happened.
So
was that like a known fact? I didn't know that was a thing.
No, I didn't know that. So what? He was 85 offensive assistant.
No, 85 Bears defensive assistant. So
defensive assistant.
He's been riding being the defensive assistant for the best defensive team of all time.
He also was head coach for Greatest Show on Turf, I think, right?
Was he? I don't think so.
Those Kurt Warner Rams. Hoops, check that.
No, he was like the Titans coach for all that time.
Was he the Titans coach for the Music City Miracle?
Yeah, he must have been.
That was it. So that's another one too. But here's a quick fact that I saw today too. Jeff Fisher has a winning season out of 22 years of coaching 6 times. That's incredible.
That's unbelievable. I mean, that's why he's the half-asser of the week.
That's legitimately our joke logic. Like if you can hit 33% of the time,
right? TJ and I always say this. Now we're just mixing sports metaphors, or I always say anyways. that I have a very, very low batting average, but I have a high slugging percentage. Like I'm gonna hit a joke like 2 out of 10 times, or 1 out of 5. I could reduce that. But my slugging percentage is gonna be pretty high when I actually hit. So my OPS is also pretty low.
That's literally Jeff Fisher. He went 8-8, 7-9 for so many years, made a Super Bowl once or came close, and then had really bad sub 500 years.
Lost to the Rams in the
He lost to the greatest show on turf. That was it. Of course he did.
That's like this. That's like the same thing, coaching it and losing to it.
But he still has that ring from '85. Don't you ever forget it. Awesome.
Yeah,
that's a great.
trait.
I'm super glad that happened today.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, last bit. Actually, is it?
I think we have 2 more. Right?
2 more. Maybe.
I think we're gonna. Why don't you say what you're gonna say?
All right. The hoops theme bit. So, I was thinking about this the other day. Cricket is a super popular sport. Arguably top 5. Actually, not even arguably. It's definitely top 5. I just don't know enough about it to speak to its fandom, and that's a problem. America has largely ignored cricket. So
second most fans in the world for cricket.
Second most fans.
It goes
in the world.
soccer, cricket. Ready for number 3? It's gonna blow your mind. Field hockey.
Wow, that actually did blow my mind. I really wasn't. I wasn't expecting field hockey at all because I thought that was just whatever. I'm not going to get into it. This is about cricket. So there's no like American cricket guys. Dubs and our goal is to learn about cricket, eventually attach ourselves to a team, and become cricket guys. So at least if all else fails, we'll have the cricket market cornered in America. So hoops, if you want to hit us with the cricket rule of the week so we can slowly start learning about the second most popular sport in the world.
Yeah, wait 1 second. Can I take notes? Wait 1 second. I need to take notes because I'm going to forget.
Yeah, I also didn't realize I had this prepared, but I got something up.
Great.
Okay. Well, all right. Go.
Go ahead, Hoops.
Rule 1.
Yeah. I'm looking for a good one, like a reasonable beginner intro thing.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Don't make it too complex because I don't know anything about
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. Cricket.
Yep.
Is a game played between 2 teams made up 11 players each.
Oh.
There is also a reserve player called the 12th man.
Okay, 11 players.
Wait, 2 teams, 11 players each. Reserve
12th man.
Okay, do you know what this reserve 12th man does? Or?
He is not. I know what he can't do. That's all I know, though. He can't bowl, bat.
All right, we're going. Yeah, we're going too far. I don't know.
You think you know what those
I
words?
don't even know.
Bowl
I know these.
bat.
They're
So
used.
can we review?
But they sound like
review?
Let's do a quick review. Hoops, you fact check us. So, 11,
wait, T. Can I just?
you got it.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a question. Can you answer it?
Yeah, I got
All
it.
right, how many teams play in a game of cricket?
2.
And how many players on each team?
Trick question.
Yeah.
11 are playing with a reserve 12.
Nailed it. All right, cool.
Guys,
So,
we got it.
Hey,
We got it. And
Congrats.
quite frankly, can we look into the Seahawks and their trademark of 12th man? Because it sounds like it was already a position that actually does something in cricket.
That's a very, very good point.
That's my little shout to Pete Carroll. I'm shouting to you, Pete. Even though he definitely didn't have anything to do with that. So we're excited. We're excited for you guys to learn cricket along with us. What was your idea for the final bit?
Oh, don't we have like a board game situation going on?
Oh yeah. So this is something we're gonna start doing. We just need to go out and buy it, and this is news to Hoops, and I think you'll enjoy this too.
I think that's our best bit by far.
So each week we are playing Battleship, and we're gonna make 1 move a week. So, for example, ready for this, Stubbs?
Yeah, I'm ready.
E5.
Miss, I don't have any battleships up yet.
Exactly. So I would have to write down E5, and I'm gonna have to keep track of Dubs' battle.
Wait, so we're not actually
Probably
playing
after we'll get a winner. Go ahead.
You're cutting in and out. Are you? Can you hear me?
Are we having? Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, we're having. Okay, cool. Wait, so we're not actually playing with real boards?
No, we are playing with real boards. We just don't have the game yet.
Yeah,
so I'm not going to place it near your 5. So you just wasted a turn.
No, this isn't. Wait, I said, are you ready for an example?
That was an example. Okay, that was exactly. Sorry.
Let's go over the. Yeah. So that's what's going to happen.
Wait,
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Hoops.
Yeah.
sorry. I was gonna say, Dubs, if it ever cut, you're recording, so if it ever cuts on your feed,
Did you just
right?
did you just like mouth words to me, or are you trying to like fuck with me?
What did maybe it cut out? No, maybe it cut out. Maybe too. Can you hear that?
All right, so that was the first episode of Second
Yeah.
String.
So
Is-
essentially, we're gonna be playing Weekly Battleship. That's how we're gonna end. I don't think Dubs can hear hoops. I can hear hoops. So this is gonna be a wild end, which is really exactly how I expected this production.
what do
to
you
go.
think the chances that this is actually recorded are?
Oh my god, if we're not doing this again.
This
So
might be the
anyway,
end of it.
anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to possibly the last, but definitely the first show of Second String. Just to let you guys know too, Dubs and I are currently in a heated battle in
Oh, yeah.
fantasy football playoffs right now.
How's that going?
Tonight I have Justin Tucker, Steve Smith, Dennis Pitta going. Justin Tucker hit a 50-yarder before the half that put me up 2 points. The loser of this bet has to go to a karaoke bar and film themselves singing Alanis Morissette's "You Ought to Know," which I don't know about you, is like not at all in my wheelhouse.
Oh, it's 100% my wheelhouse. That's why I chose it. That's like my
Shit.
go-to song.
This
actually
is gonna be
great.
great.
Yeah.
It's really low for me.
It's right in my range.
Want you to know.
Yeah,
Like
no,
that's hard.
It's right where I'm going. But I've Malcolm Mitchell going, and I'm down 2 points. So it's
So-
probably going to be me.
Stay tuned to take you
We'll
guys
see.
out. Here's a picture I drew of Dubs in my notes.
Oh, I look good in that.
More or less, right?
Have I
That's
looked
not bad.
All right.
Your jaw looks great. All right.
Stop.
So thank you
Okay.
guys for listening. We will see you guys next week.